Good, what time is it? Good evening. Um, my cousin Kate Malig, the daughter of Uncle Lin and Auntie Vida, posted a request to all her cousins to greet her dad, Uncle Lin, because it's her birthday. It's his birthday today. So I decided to actually make a recording of some kind of a summative description of how Uncle Lin impacted my life as a person. For one, Uncle Lin is the typical Malig member of the family who's speak very few words, like my dad, my papa, and Uncle Lito and Ninong Ben, and even Uncle Boy, I think, and and Uncle Pering. All of them are actually man of few words. But with Uncle Lin, I don't know. Um, Unfortunately, you will not see him breaking the ice. You will break the ice for him and you will chop it for him. But then again, you will get some inputs. One thing I can't forget about Uncle Lin is him giving me a ride to Project 8 because I was staying with Ninong Ben and Ninong Luz's house with my cousins as well. And I never get tired of waiting for him at the terrace of Apong Deming. And he never gets tired of actually opening the door for me, the brown Lancer. That was in, what year was that? 19, I think 1983 up to 87. Until I finally decided to actually stay in Manila and I never got to have the chance to ride with his Lancer at all. And by way of doing such, I was bombarded by his great music, and they never were erased in my mind since then. In fact, I think that was actually the baptism of fire for me to be inclined with music or to be very interested with songs, because every time I actually sit there in front or sometimes at the back when there's actually somebody in front, it's very consistent. It's spontaneous as well for him to actually play his cassette, and from Makabebe all the way down to what is this, Commonwealth Avenue in Quezon City. Before I get trapped at Munoz Market, he will, oh my God, he will actually play the songs over and over again. And what's mysterious about it is he never sings. He only, he only listens to them. And then I end up singing and humming, and then he would actually give me some kind of a stare. I don't know what kind of stare is that. He would never utter a word, but it's a meaningful stare that I don't know if I have to stop or he'd like me to continue. I get so intimidated that I end up stopping, and then he would give me a grin, and then I said, "What is this all about?" But then again, that was one very memorable experience that I had with Uncle. That and that in itself actually established our closeness. Without that justifies the quotation which says, "Good friends and true friends who know each other very well don't need to talk. They just have to sit down there and actually share the moment, and then they stand up and finally getting tired of actually sitting down and staring at each other and staring at the wall and staring at the surroundings around them. They would get tired, they stand up, and then all of a sudden they said, you know what, let's call it a day. Then they would part ways. And it seems like after that silent dialogue, they have actually discussed about a lot of things in the world. This is the kind of relationship I had with Uncle Lin. I don't know with the rest of my cousins who are probably more aggressive or more outspoken than me. I am outspoken, but then again, with him, I can never be outspoken because I don't know what to actually bring up. For one, I don't even know his interest. But then, because of my high respect to him as my uncle or my second father as well, you know, I just keep quiet. I mean, I just keep quiet. He would ask me, "Okay, where do you want to get dropped?" The the uh, the discussion every Monday morning when I was actually going to school in the university in Manila is almost always the same. That you need to actually play a tape recorder, and that it's the same thing that Uncle is telling me, and I'm telling you, it's something that is still very vivid in my mind up to now. But then again, he's the kind of person who never had any feud with any of his nephews or nieces. Quiet, very, and then he would just give a smile. And even when he actually visits my papa, then inside, I mean, for some special occasions, I don't know what kind of relationship they had, the brothers. They would just sit there in the living room, saying nothing, and then stand up and go and then say goodbye. And they felt like it was actually the most meaningful discussion that they have ever had in their lives. I don't know. It's very unique. That's probably why we are Maligs, because we are unique. We are like we actually create our own emblem, being a family, and that makes us very creative, and at the same time, that makes us excel among other other people, so to speak. But it's not like showing off or lifting our chairs, but then our credentials would speak for us anyway. Now, happy birthday, Uncle Lin. I probably spoken a lot already, and I'm just actually rendering this kind of greeting to you because despite our silent friendship together, you just don't know how you merited in my life being an individual, because there are some traits that you possess and I applied in special instances that I have to actually make a decision making situation, and I applied what I see from you and from Uncle Boy and from my Ninong as well. That has been effective and efficient for me in my job so far, and that in itself is a wonderful inheritance coming from you, and that I would pass on to my son, and probably ask my son to pass it on to his son in the future. And I don't know if we can consider ourselves close, because we never spoke lengthily or sensible, I would say seriously, about any topic in the world. I can't even discuss to you the impact of the gays in the society because I don't even know if that's going to be your interest anyway. But please understand that I love you as my uncle, the same way as you love me as your nephew. And at the same time, thank you so much for being part of my college life, for always carrying the tradition of the Malik family of extending help to your family, to the rest of the members of the family. And thank you for showing your care and concern to me, whether it be the brown Lancer that you're driving, or the white Camarao FX, I think, which was your service, the tram car before. And also thank you for unconditionally loving our family and giving your contribution to make our Malik family close at all times. I have not physically and personally actually met Kate and spoke to her, but I am confident and very sure that with the kind of characteristics that you as a person possess, she will not go wrong. She will never go wrong. In fact, I'm expecting an aggressively smart career woman from her, who's excelling in her field of interest and also sharing her intelligent part in the society. Happy birthday, Uncle! And my dad passed away already, and you and Ninong Ben are two of my what do you call role models, as I may say, that I look up to you so highly, and I hope that you will not change like you always were before, and even after now. Well, it's been years, many years that we have not met, and I hope that in the future, opportunity will give us a chance to actually meet again and discuss some things. Now that I'm already mature, now that I have kids, and now that I have grandkids as well. And good luck to you, and regards to Tita Vida. And then I'm looking forward to discussing some things with Kate. I mean, anything under the sun, because I know I'm going to have productive outputs coming from her. Happy birthday, Uncle. I love you, and I hope you will enjoy these songs that I sang for you, and keep them in your heart, because I sang them because these were the compelling forces coming from my heart, because you gave them to me. Okay? Thank you. I love you, and God bless you.